Good morning everyone. We will start with the next system, that is excretory system. So excretion. So mainly what are the waste products which is excreted from our body in the form of urine, right? One is a urine and another one is through as a feces. So this urine formation is the main function of kidney. Okay, so the excretory system or renal physiology, which deals with the study of structure and functions of the excretory system. So this excretory system mainly include a pair of kidneys, a pair of ureters, then one urinary bladder and urethra. The primary function of the renal system is to maintain the constancy of the internal environment, that is called homeostatic. Okay, homeostasis. So functions of the kidney is we will study the function of kidney in the excretory system. So that is mainly the one is the excretory system in the form of urine formation, then homeostasis, the maintain the homeostasis, and also secrete some hormones called endocrine functions. Next, coming to the nephron. So we will study only the kidney, okay, the functions of kidney. So before that, the nephron is the structural and functional unit of the kidney. Okay, structural and functional unit of the kidney is nephron. So in each kidney there are about 1 to 1.5 millions of nephrons are present. Okay, so 1 to 1.5 millions of nephrons are present. The total length of the nephron is 45 to 65 millimeter mm. So it is so long. Okay, so each kidney contain 1 to 1.5 millions of nephron. So nephron main function is filtration of blood, okay, filtration of plasma, then formation of urine. So coming to the structure of the nephron, if you see the structure of the nephron, so it mainly contains two parts. One is the renal corpuscle, another one is renal tubule. Okay, renal corpuscles and renal tubules. So very important. Okay, the first one is, this is the part of the nephron. Okay, I will tell later that part. So renal corpuscle is mainly made up of two systems. One is the Bowman's capsule, okay, and glomerular capillaries. Okay, glomerular capillaries. So mainly the renal corpuscles is made up of glomerular capillaries, then Bowman capsule. Okay, so that together form a renal corpuscles. The glomerular capillaries are mainly made up of afferent arteriole and efferent arteriole. Okay, the glomerular capillaries means blood vessels. So if the blood vessels are there, there is a afferent limb and efferent arterioles. Okay, afferent and efferent arteriole. So the Bowman capsule is the beginning of the nephron plus capillaries together called glomerulus. Understood? So renal corpuscle is made up of glomerular capillaries or glomerulus and Bowman capsule. So you can see the diagram. So this is the Bowman capsule. So this is the renal corpuscle. The round part is the renal corpuscle. Renal corpuscle is made up of both. This is the afferent and efferent arterioles. Okay, that is glomerular capillaries. Clear? That is the first part of the nephron. So through these capillaries, it is showing a red color. That means the blood is passing through these nephron. Okay, the blood is passing through these through afferent arteriole. So then through the Bowman capsule it will pass and enter the tube. This is the tubular portion, okay, renal tubules. Understood? So coming to the part of the nephron is important, okay. So the diagram also. So mainly each nephron is made up of renal corpuscle and renal tubules. So renal corpuscles is mainly made up of glomerular capillaries, okay, and Bowman capsule. The first part, the blood is passing through these capillaries through afferent and efferent. The two are there. So afferent, through afferent it enter, the blood enter the nephron. So it will pass through the Bowman's capsule and enter this is the tubular portion, okay. So then in the renal tubules or tubular portion, so mainly contain, the first part is the PCT, proximal tubule, okay. So from here the tubular portion will begins. The first part is proximal tubule or PCT, proximal convoluted tubule, okay, proximal convoluted tubule. Then this is the descending limb, okay, this is a loop of Henle, okay, loop of Henle. Then this is the ascending limb, then it is a distal convoluted tubules, okay, distal convoluted tubule, DCT. Then there is a collecting duct, okay, collecting, this is the collecting duct, collecting duct. So the collecting duct, so that will continuous with the bladder, okay. So collecting duct. So these are the parts of nephron. This is not the part of kidney, this is the part of nephron. So like this is a one nephron. Like this there are 1 to 1.5 million of nephron is present in each kidney, okay. So in one kidney the 1 million of nephron is present. To that each nephron the blood will pass through the afferent arterioles or through the glomerular capillaries, then enter the Bowman's capsule, then pass through all the way towards the collecting tubule, okay. So this is the structure. So this is afferent arteriole. So this is the tuft of glomerular, then it is efferent arteriole. So when the blood is passing through here, so from the plasma get filtered, okay, the plasma gland, that means the fluid, okay, the plasma, the fluid part of the blood get filtered in through the Bowman capsule, okay. So glomerulus, the same thing, okay. The glomerulus is, the function of the glomerulus is filtration of plasma, okay, filtration of plasma. So after filtration we call it as glomerular filtrate, okay. So we call it as glomerular filtrates. So when the blood is passing through here, the plasma get filtered into the Bowman's capsule. Once it get filtered, we call it as glomerular filtrate, okay, glomerular filtrate. Then this glomerular filtrate will enter the renal tubule, we call it as tubular fluid, okay, that become tubular fluid. So same thing what I explained, okay, renal tubule, so PCT, loop of Henle, distal convoluted tubule and collecting duct. So in the nephrons, so there are 1 million of nephrons are present, right. Some of the nephrons, their tubular portion is very short, okay. So if you see the kidney, the cross section of the kidney, so there is a cortex and medulla is there. So some of the nephrons has a short loop of Henle, so that will embedded in only till cortex, so it will not present in the medulla. Okay, so that we call, there are those type of nephron, we call it as cortical nephrons. Okay, so till cortex it is present, so hence it is called cortical nephron. So another nephron where there is a long loop of Henle, so it will be penetrate towards the medulla, so are embedded in the medulla of the kidney, so hence it is called juxtamedullary nephrons. Okay, juxtamedullary nephrons. So the question is, there are two types of nephrons are present. So one is cortical nephron and juxtamedullary nephron. So very important, the difference they will ask. Okay, the difference between cortical and juxtamedullary nephrons. So we will see the difference. The cortical nephron, here the glomerulus present in cortex only. Okay, the cortex only. Here the glomerulus is present deep in the cortex. Loop of Henle is short, here it is long. So again the proximal convoluted tubule is divided into ascending and descending limb. So the cortical nephron, there is no ascending limb, so it has both thin and thick ascending limb. Then here in the cortical nephron, the efferent arterioles give rise to only the peritubular capillaries, so this will give rise to vasa recta. Are you just right? Here peritubular capillary network, so here cortical nephron, the peritubular capillaries are present, so this will give rise to vasa recta capillaries, that is enough. Okay, these are not required. So only peritubular capillaries are present, here vasa recta is present, so that is very important. So in the cortical nephron, it will not involve in counter current mechanism, so that is another topic is there. So counter current mechanism, so cortical nephrons will not involved in counter current mechanism. This is juxtamedullary nephrons very important role in counter current mechanism because of presence of vasa recta. So little role in concentration of urine, helps in concentration of urine, so that is very important function of juxtamedullary nephrons. So 85% of nephrons are cortical nephron and 15% are remaining the juxtamedullary nephrons. Okay, so these are the difference between cortical and juxtamedullary nephrons. So that's complete the introduction part. So next we will see the urine formation. So urine formation. So urine formation, it is the urine is the first formed as filtration of plasma at glomerulus. Okay. So first there is a filtration of plasma at the glomerulus is taking place, which undergoes a modification at renal tubules as it passes through the renal tubules. So some modification is taking place. So those modification, maybe it is reabsorption. Okay, some important ions are get reabsorbed, or secretion. Okay, the waste substances get secreted into the tubular fluid, so that is and excreted as urine. Okay, so urine is the first formed as ultrafiltration of plasma at glomerulus, which undergoes a modification at the renal tubules by the way of selective reabsorption. Selective, that means only the important selective substances like sodium, potassium, glucose get reabsorbed, and secretion. Secretion means unwanted substances get secreted into the tubules, and those will be excreted along with the urine. So you can see the diagram. So this is the glomerulus. Okay, glomerulus. So this is the Bowman's capsule that is continuous with the tubules, tubular portion. Okay. So now the blood. Okay. So blood will pass through the afferent arteriole. Okay. So and pass through like this in the glomerulus. It form a glomerulus and go back to efferent arteriole. So while it is passing through here, there is a filtration is taking place. Okay, the plasma or fluid get filtered here. So when it is passing through the tubular portion, so important substances get reabsorbed back into the efferent arterioles. Okay, that is continuous with as a peritubular capillary. So that is go back to the venous blood, and from the peritubular capillaries the waste substances get secreted back into the tubular portion, and that will excreted along with the urine. Okay, so this is the basic step. So it involves 3 steps. One is ultrafiltration in glomerulus, then selective reabsorption and selective secretion. Okay, so if the question is urine formation, so you have to write these 3 steps. First is the filtration, reabsorption and secretion which is taking place in the renal tubules, and the filtration is taking place in glomerulus. So first we will see the glomerular filtration. Okay, glomerular filtration, that is the first step in the urine formation. So glomerular filtration is the rate at which plasma is filtered in the glomerulus per minute by all the nephrons in both the kidneys. Okay, so per minute in both the kidneys, how much amount of plasma is filtered. The rate at which the plasma is filtered in all the tubules of both the kidney, we call it as GFR, glomerular filtration rate. Okay, GFR. So GFR means the rate at which the plasma is filtered per minute is very important. Okay, the per minute, how much amount of plasma is forming, plasma is filtered through the glomerulus. Okay, we call it as GFR. Okay, so the your urine formation is mainly depends on GFR. Okay, normal value is 125 ml per minute. Okay, this is minute. Okay, so per minute, 125 ml of a plasma is filtering. Okay, or 180 liters per day. Mechanism of formation of GFR. As the blood is flowing through the glomerular capillaries, the plasma is filtered through the glomerular membrane and enter the Bowman space, and it is called glomerular filtrate. So next coming to factors regulating GFR. So factors regulating GFR or factors affecting GFR both are same. So here we have to see one of important factors are pressures. Okay, so the pressure which mainly determine the GFR are, one is glomerular capillary pressure. Okay, then colloidal osmotic pressure in the glomeruli and hydrostatic pressure in the Bowman capsule. Okay, so very important. Okay, the pressures which these pressure will determine the filtering or filtration. So any factors which alter these pressure will alter the rate of formation of urine, that is GFR. Okay, the first one is glomerular capillary pressure, the glomerulus, the afferent and efferent arterioles. Okay, the pressure in that is 45 and it is 60 mm. Okay, so it is always 60 mm. Then it favors the glomerular filtration. So you just remember the name of these pressures, 1, 2, 3, the name of the pressure, and it is how much. Okay, it is 60 mmHg. It will favors the glomerular filtration. That means if the glomerular capillary pressure increases, more filtration is taking place. Like that, it favors the glomerular filtration. That is important. Then colloidal osmotic pressure. So you know, in the blood the plasma proteins are present. So these plasma proteins are size is very big, so it is size is little bit big, so it will not pass through these capillaries. Okay, it will stay in the glomerulus only. The plasma proteins will not filtered through the glomerulus. So this plasma protein will provide some pressure. Okay, so that is of about 25 mmHg, that will oppose the glomerular filtration. Okay, it is opposing the glomerular filtration. If more the plasma proteins are present, the pressure will increases. It will prevent, or it will delay, or it will decrease the filtration rate. Okay, that is colloidal osmotic pressure. Then hydrostatic pressure in Bowman capsules. So now the filtered is going to Bowman capsules. This in the Bowman's capsule there is a pressure is present, that is of about 15 mmHg. So this will also oppose the glomerular filtration. Okay, that will also oppose the glomerular filtration. So these three pressures are very important in determining the filtration rate. So only the glomerular capillary pressure favors the filtration. So other two will oppose the filtration. The next one is surface area of capillary membrane. Okay, surface area of the capillary membrane. The surface area of the capillary membrane, which is GFR, is directly proportional to the surface area. So if more the surface area is present, so the rate of filtration will also increases. Okay, in some of the disease, so these capillary membrane may be affected, so that so the surface area of filtration decreases, so GFR is also decreases. The permeability, so permeability also GFR is directly proportional. Okay, so in the condition like hypoxia, lack of blood supply, or presence of toxic agents and all, so that will decrease the permeability of the capillary membrane and decrease the GFR. Okay, so in some nephrotic syndrome and all, the permeability of capillary membrane decreases. So apart from that, there is one term we call the auto regulation. Okay, so auto means self regulation. So that means, so like heart, brain and kidney, so these three organ is a vital organs that will show a auto regulation of their own blood flow. Okay, the adjustment of the blood flow to an organ is regulated by an organ itself. So that means if the flow to the kidney decreases, okay, so it will adjust by itself. In some of the intrinsic mechanism and extrinsic mechanisms are present in the kidney that will adjust the blood flow. So if it is decreases, so that will work together and make the blood flow, because kidney has to is the second highest organ that is receiving the blood. Okay, so like that the brain and heart also, if the blood flow decreases, so it will by regulate this organ by itself. So like that I am telling tell about the only the kidney. So in the kidney also this auto regulation is adjusted, so according to the functional need. Okay, so we will see which are the adjustment. So there are intrinsic and extrinsic mechanism. Okay, so same thing. So apart from these factors regulating the GFR, because the GFR depends on blood. blood supply, right? So if the blood flow to the nephron decreases, the filtration formation filtrate is also decreases. Okay, so mainly the GFR depends on blood supply. Okay, that is called renal blood flow. Okay, renal blood flow. So renals means kidney. So renal blood flow. So both the blood flow to the kidney has got a well developed auto regulation. So it is maintained at normally by 60 to 160 mmHg. So if the pressure in the blood vessels of the renal or kidney is increases above 160 or decreases below 60, so it can't regulate. Only between 60 to 160 range of the pressure difference is there. So by myogenic and renin angiotensin system, so it is regulating its own blood flow. Okay, so autoregulation means, so it is the regulation of blood flow by itself. So it is three organs like kidney, brain and heart are showing the auto regulation. Okay, so in the renal blood flow, the renal blood vessels are very well developed for auto regulation. So it is ranging from 60 to 160 mmHg through myogenic and renin angiotensin system. So it is regulating. So myogenic is a myogenic theory, that is intrinsic mechanism. Here intrinsic means inside the blood vessels itself make a adjustment for blood flow. Okay, myogenic theory. So whenever blood flow increases, okay, whenever the blood flow through the blood vessels of the kidney increases, that will cause a stretching of smooth muscles that cause contraction. So that is one of the property of smooth muscle, that is called myogenic theory. And renin angiotensin system I will tell in that next class. Okay, so that's complete the GFR. Okay, so GFR is very important. A definition: normal value is very important. Normal value, then factors affecting GFR. So in the factors affecting GFR, you have to write all the three pressures. Okay, so then autoregulation mechanism or renal blood flow. Okay, so renal blood flow through autoregulation, the GFR is directly proportional to renal blood flow. If the renal blood flow increases, the filtration rate is also increases. So again that GFR, again the renal blood flow autoregulation mechanism depends on intrinsic mechanism like myogenic theory and renin angiotensin system. Then permeability of the capillary membrane and filtration through the capillary membrane also affect the GFR.